The intro to this video was going to be how there's a bunch of characters we haven't gotten in Marvel Snap yet, but they released a second Human Torch. So I was trying to think of random or stupid characters, and I started digging through some like childhood comic book stuff, and I found this 1994 Fleer Ultra. I'm old as fuck, boy. Well, we got Torch number 2 before Fitzroy, before Barrel.
Is it worth it?
What's going on, nerds? Read the card time. Human Torch, fantastic for first steps, is a 3 energy 2 power card that says end of turn, +1 power once per game if your side here is full. Double this card's power instead. Overall impressions of this card. I'll keep the impressions area a little shorter than usual, but it seems pretty good. Not many like raw power 3 drops are good late, but I think this will be because of how it triggers on the turn you play it. If it didn't, this would be way worse. And the type of decks that want to play this are gonna be able to boost his power. So even if you do play it late, it's still gonna be like a 3-8, a 3-10 probably, which is kind of silly. Also, it's pretty immune to like a lot of tech. I'll get into that here in a bit. But honestly, I can't think of too many downsides to this card, really. What do you guys think? Well, we got Joseph here first saying, actual hot take, the card that makes Prodigy A+ tier. That is definitely a hot take, and also I will delete my channel if Prodigy ever becomes A+ tier.
You can take that to the bank.
Got Chris Blake saying, another week, another reason to sub out Shaw. I think if you're going for a power-only Surfer build, then Shaw's like one more card, one more decent 3-drop release, and then Shaw gets the boot from the power versions of the Surfer decks. All right, we got Grivik saying this would go really well with the card that buffed every end of turn card. Thank God none of us has a card like that, because then we'd be part of the problem. I don't know what you're talking about.
Liar.
You got Jonathan Storms, Johnny Storms saying, I'm just glad that we're finally adding the Human Torch to the game. You would think they would have prioritized adding such an iconic character earlier, right? Now all we're missing in Marvel Snap really is Black Tom Cassidy, who is not black. Next up, we got Gunny, who's just mad. Gunny's just angry with this one, saying, why do you play 5 or 6 cost cards if the 3s and 4s are going to be so good? I mean, it's kind of right. I don't really play 6 drops in the game at all, unless there's something like Apocalypse that, you know, go with the deck. Got 1023 Nick saying, does Cassandra Nova still skin him alive? No. But to answer the question, instead of Silver Surfer, I'd like to see him in a Kitty Pryde or Little Movers deck to give it more ceiling. I totally agree. Yeah, Surfer, blah, 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 blah.
Yawn.
Everyone's gonna play Surfer. Who cares? I'm actually excited to try it in like, I posted a deck a couple of weeks ago. It's like a Bishop Angela Kitty Pryde deck with Bast and Agent Venom. I'm gonna try him there. On to the good and bad. First thing here, the decks he's good in are good currently. Buff stuff, buffy stuff, Surfer decks, they're playing tokens and or cheap cards. So this card will just fit right into those. The second thing here, easy requirements. Any deck that wants this card is going to be able to fill a lane pretty easily. And even if you're a deck that generally doesn't like filling up lanes, I still think it's going to be pretty simple to trigger his double effect. Hard to stop. We already covered this. Shang, no. Shadow King, Red Guardian, that's about it. Last thing here, 8 power even if played on turn 5. There's not a lot of cards that you get that much power with really not any downside. I mean, Gladiator's 8 power, and I was sure it goes in specific decks, but technically the Gladiator thing is a downside. And on to the bad. Fuck Shadow King. Also, Shadow King's not going to be that great. And also, the Shadow King from Legion, the FX series, is so cool. Actually, I'm just going to take this opportunity in the bad section because there's not really many downsides to just encourage you to watch the Legion FX show. It's so good. It's good regardless of whether or not you like comic book stuff. And if you knew nothing about Marvel and you watched it, you would just think it's like a weird show. A weird, excellent show. But knowing Marvel just makes it better. It's unique, it's got great acting, it's truly bizarre, and there's just nothing else like it on TV. It's amazing. Go check it out. All right, example deck. What do you know? It's a Surfer deck. If you're looking for a different type of deck, you want an example, like I said, I think it was 3 or 4 weeks ago, I made like a small cards Merlin deck with Bishop and Angela and stuff like that. I think he'll be actually pretty decent there too. But aside from that, this is the most common place people are going to play him. I think you should just go for full power because we're already doing, you know, Captain Carter, Gladiator Special. Like, what's the point of putting like Killmonger or Juggernaut in here or something? It's like, no, just go for big power, pew pew, win the game. I do like having 4 2-drops in Surfer decks though, because it gives your turn 5 a lot more flexibility. Usually, like if you don't have Galacta, turn 4 is awkward in Surfer. If you don't have a 2-drop plus a 3-drop in Surfer, turn 5 is awkward. So yeah, I think it's correct to have the numbers like this basically. Okay, so on to my recommendation. Here, I'm just gonna give the card a rating, and you can generally figure out if the card is worth it just by, you know, making it this far in the video. But I'm giving Human Torch Fantastic Four First Steps 7 Jawbreakers covered in hair that you found under the couch out of 10, which is pretty good. I would say this is just on the line of for sure worth it. Anything above 7 is probably like just fucking get the card. But if you don't want to play Surfer, or you don't really like small ball type decks, you don't have to get Surfer. I mean, you don't have to get Human Torch. But yeah, thanks for watching. Later.